Ahoy cargo crews! Welcome back to the Cruise Ship Safety and Security channel, where we tackle the big, the heavy, and the potentially very dangerous. Today, we're going full-on stevedore with COSWP Part 3, Chapter 9, Cargo Handling and Operations. Whether you're on a container ship, ro-ro, tanker, or multi-purpose workboat, moving cargo is a daily reality. But COSWP reminds us, just because it's routine doesn't mean it's safe. Let's load in the knowledge. Cargo operations might look like giant Lego being shifted around, but beneath the surface lie some serious hazards. Crush injuries, slips, trips and falls, swinging loads, shifting or unsecured cargo, equipment failure, chemical or temperature hazards for certain cargoes, poor visibility, communication, or coordination. And that's before we even mention working under pressure or during bad weather. So what does COSWP say? Plan, train, communicate, and don't cut corners. COSWP starts with the basics. Every cargo operation must be planned. Full stop. That includes a risk assessment, clear communication channels, supervision by competent personnel, equipment checks, proper crew briefing before starting. And it must be adapted to the cargo type. Loose bulk, different from containers. Dangerous goods, special precautions, heavy lifts. You'll need extra gear and oversight. Cargo ops equals lifting gear galore. COSWP reminds us, use only certified lifting gear, properly marked and in good condition. Carry out pre-use inspections. Ensure appropriate sling angles and load ratings. Tag out any damaged gear. Only competent persons should rig and signal lifts. If you don't know what a safe working load is, or if your sling has more rust than a scrapyard, stop and ask. Nothing moves without a clear exclusion zone. COSWP requires barriers or markings to keep people clear of swinging loads, control over access points, constant supervision by an experienced officer or deckhand, spotters if visibility is poor, and never walk under a suspended load. Ever. That's not bravery, that's betting your life against a gravity-fed forklift. Every cargo operation means full PPE, even if you're just watching. COSWP says helmet, gloves, safety boots, high-vis, hearing protection if needed. And safe behavior means no shortcuts, no standing in blind spots, no texting while slinging a crate, no assumptions, confirm with the team. You might trust your crewmate with your snacks, but not with your head under a load. Different ships mean different rules. Ro-ro, watch for moving vehicles and lashings. Tanker, beware of vapors, static discharge, and incompatible cargo. Container ship, know your stack plan and hazardous goods. COSWP says all cargo must be properly secured for sea. Lashings checked and logged. Hazardous cargo stowed in line with IMDG code. Dangerous goods documentation must be on board and accessible. If there's a cargo incident, spill, injury, or damage, stop operations safely. Raise the alarm. Inform the duty officer and/or bridge. Secure the area. Follow your ship's emergency response plan. COSWP also recommends reviewing the incident, learning from near misses, reporting hazards before they become injuries. COSWP puts it simply, cargo handling presents significant risks. These must be managed by proper planning, competent supervision, safe equipment, and trained crew. Cargo may be routine, but the safety around it never should be. Let's wrap up COSWP Part 3, Chapter 9. Cargo operations must be planned and supervised. All lifting equipment must be certified and fit for purpose. Exclusion zones, PPE, and clear communication are essential. Cargo must be secured for sea, always. And when in doubt, stop, reassess, and speak up. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with that one decky who thinks he can sprint across the cargo deck between lifts. Next up, Chapter 10, Mooring and Anchoring Operations, also known as How Not to Get Launched by a Mooring Line. Until then, stay safe, lift smart, and keep your cargo where it's supposed to be.